guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be how I style my like day and a half old hair. I've been wearing it like this and I put up some pictures on Instagram and you guys have been asking me, so I thought I'd come on here and demo it for you. Today is the first day that I'm filming that I've had my Invisalign in my mouth, so I do have a slight speech impediment. I know some people take them out to film, but that means less time that I can have them out to stuff my face, and sorry, eating's more important to me, so we're just gonna have to deal with my lisp. Thucker and thuckatash, that's what I feel like. It's all good. I'm just going to talk like this for the next 7 months. I'm going to leave timestamps below if you guys want to skip ahead to just how I did my hair, and I'm going to tell you some features and benefits of this tool. Most of you guys are aware Helen of Troy, which is also the acronym HOT, stands for Helen of Troy, is a company I work with professionally in my job. I am not being paid by them to do this video. I just wanted to show you guys this cool new tool that we have. When you look at this at first, it might look really gimmicky. What it was made for, and it released originally to professionals only, and now it's available on the retail market, just more like higher end retail places. So the idea for this was an ergodynamic design that let hairdressers keep their arms and wrists by their side. One big issue that hairdressers have is carpal tunnel from holding their arms all the way up, or their wrists, or having to contort their arms in weird ways. Typically for curling irons, if you wanted to get those beachy waves or curls, some people I guess could curl going down, but most people get their arm all the way up. So most people would either use the flipper or not and just wrap their hair like this, and it's keeping your arms up like this, right? Hairdressers would have to do the same thing to get some kind of curl. They would have to have their hand above the hair that they're working on. What I'm going to show you now is some footage off of their Hot Tools channel, which I will have linked below. If you guys ever want to see hair tutorials and things, you should go follow, and demos of products. But what this allows for is for you to keep your arms and your wrists straight and in, and literally just curl the hair while it's down here without you having to hold your hand up. Now, some people might prefer that. You might like to come at it from a higher point like this and still drop it in. I mean, ultimately it will be like the same hand motion that you do with a regular curling iron, but this has more benefits. This is the 1 1/4 size, and they also make a 1 inch. 1 1/4 is the most popular size among hairdressers for a nice beachy wave without it being too tight of a curl. So in the curl bar, this is the 1 inch size. If you guys watch me on Instagram, you know I took the 1 1/4 inch size and I covered it with marble contact paper because I was trying to use it as a staging area for my photos. So I don't have that box right here, but this is the 1 inch size. Hot Tools utilizes something called pulse technology. So if you were to take hair on any curling iron and touch it to the barrel, as soon as you do that, the transfer from the barrel to your hair will leave cool spots on the barrel. This has pulse technology, which keeps the heat regulated, so there are no hot or cool spots on this entire barrel. This is plated in 24 karat gold, which gives it even heat distribution throughout the barrel. So I'm going to push the button on the side here, and you can see that this little gauge will show you what the temperature is. So you can turn it up or down. I don't like to keep mine as hot as it can go because my hair is processed, so it's already compromised. The extension hair that I have in can take more heat than my natural hair because my natural hair is fine. I keep this on 390, and sometimes I'll go even a little lower. So that will heat up in no time, but just to tell you a few things about it, it does have worldwide voltage, meaning that you can travel with it worldwide without any issue. It does have an auto shut off, so if you're someone like me that typically can forget to turn your appliances off, this will automatically shut off for you. My most favorite feature on this though is once you get the hair wrapped around the barrel, you push this button and it'll put on a timer, and then it vibrates when the timer is done, so that way you can do your whole head in even curls. That's awesome, because normally I'm sitting here and I'll start counting maybe like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, but I always get distracted by things and my curls never come out consistent across my whole head. So even if you want to hold your hand while you're adjusting to it up high like you would with your curling iron, the timer on this makes this something unique that I would definitely want to have in my hair arsenal. So when you lay this down on the table too, this has like a little beveled edge so it doesn't just roll around, which is really nice, and it also won't burn your table. It comes with this little heat resistant glove. If you are afraid that you're gonna burn yourself, I would always use this. Inside the box it has the care instructions, and it also has the directions, which I know so many people don't like to read these things, but I do. It'll tell you basically how to turn it on or off, power button on top, which is very easy. How to set the temperature, which is just cranking that dial. And I think the most important part for me anyway is how to set the timer. It'll come automatically with 10 seconds, but it can go anywhere from 0 obviously up to 30. That should be set based on your hair. If you have really fine hair, you're gonna need less heat. If you have really thick coarse hair, you're going to need more heat. So basically to activate the timer, you would hold this down. I already have it set to 10, but you would hold this down until it blinks, turn the knob to set the timer to where you want. If it's where you want, you just wait 2 seconds and then it'll automatically set. They always suggest that you start off with the least amount of heat and just gradually increase it until you start to see the results that you want. Because you can bake a chicken at 400 degrees. Very few people actually need 450 degrees on their hair. You want to use the least amount of heat as possible because if you're styling your hair every day, you don't want to be putting it up to 450 degrees if you have really fragile, compromised hair. That's a good way to end up with your hair in the sink. So curling irons like this, I never do really well with because I always get an indentation in my hair from where I clamp it down. It's just my technique of doing it. Some people love them. They're just personally not, they don't work the best for me. So the next thing I was using is something just like a flipperless wand. You can also just wrap the hair on the outside of a barrel that has the flipper, but you get a little less space as one that already has the flipper off because of the flipper right here. So I would always use something like this. This is by Hot Tools. This is their nano ceramic black and white line, which is a great iron as well. Again, so I would just do my hair and I would hold it up like this. The cool touch tip is nice because then I'd put it in my hand and I'd release the curl into my hand like this. So if you look at this and you think, okay, it's the same thing, it's just at a, an angle, a right angle instead of being straight, why would I want this as well? So I'm going to show you. This is 1.5 days old hair. I washed my hair on Friday night and it's now Sunday. I feel like curls and that beachy wave look better on hair that's at least a day old because it has some grit to it. The way I do mine, I mean, there's really no rhyme or reason to it. I just part my hair kind of like right above my ears. I'll wrap that up to get it out of the way, stick it in an alligator clip. If you guys have never used alligator clips, they're life-changing while you do your hair because they expand to fit the hair you need. And I will divide it down the back. Now that I have my hair divided up into 2, you want to take 1-inch sections of your hair, so not super big. Depending on what you want as your final outcome, if you want more of like a natural body wave, you want to do your hair all curling in the same direction. If you want a little more body and kind of like that Victoria's Secret, you're going to want to alternate going one away from your face, a curl towards your face, one away, one towards. I always like my pieces that are next to my face to automatically go away. I take that 1-inch section and I'm going to curl my hair like this. And I'm going to push the timer on the back. If you can see it counting down, it's going to count down from 10, which that's what I set it for, but if you have really fragile hair, you'll want it to go a little less. Hear that? And then I'm going to let it go into my hand. So I like to do this so it can curl. It definitely helps hold the curl a little more, and then I give it a little spritz of hairspray. See? Just like that. And for me, I like to alternate, so one towards, one away. So a good way to figure out if you're trying to understand getting used to it, if you were curling away, you'd go that way. If you were curling in, you go this way. So now to curl in, I'm gonna wrap it around this way, and I'm going to push the button. Hear that beep? You're good to go. Just release the hair, put it in my hand, give it a spritz. Just let it cool down for a second. Then you let it go. And then I'm gonna do that all around my head and I will be back. So now I'm just gonna take down another section of my hair, and I just work in pieces like that. Some people like to have like perfectly straight lines. Mine's just kind of like a free-for-all, and it works for me. Now that it's done, if you see any pieces that you want to change, you can go back through and recurl them. But now I'm just gonna let these cool, and then I'll be right back. So now that it's cooled, I'm just gonna take, this is a wet brush. This is one of their ones that's made for thick hair. There's less of these little spikes in there, and I'm just going to brush out my hair. Some people will just let their hands run through it, or just kind of scrunch it up. But I kind of like it to be all kind of flowy in one piece. As you saw, that's super quick. It's really easy. I like the effect it gives. If you want more defined curls, I wouldn't brush them out. You can also use clips and kind of do little pin curls and let them cool around your head, and it'll give you a ton of volume. I just personally like to do it this way. This has been winning awards from beauty editors and magazines. I will link below a few different places where you guys can find them currently. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and I will see you next time.